Hey there, I'm Megan Tucker. I am the STEAM specialist at Hillsboro Charter Academy, as well as the Dean of Curriculum, the gifted teacher, and a teacher of technology. I have an amazing opportunity this year to work with space for teachers, and the experiment I decided to focus on was one with Aqua Dragons. Meet my dragons. I have been training them, catching them, taking care of them, doing everything needed for them to be nice and large and healthy. And in fact, it hasn't been me. It has been my school full of scholars. Every classroom has a tank of dragons, and they are raising them and watching them and seeing how they behave on Earth so we can figure out what happens when we take them into microgravity and take the gravity mostly away, and then hypergravity as well. Will they float? Will they swim? Will they care? Tune in to find out when we take Aqua Dragons for the first time ever to microgravity. So you literally are, you're like the fly. We call that a ninja at our school.
I'm also doing our own research on the plane right now. We're looking at sensors that we're putting on the knowledge data to let us know how long we stay in space and flight. So I'll put those up and I'll monitor those throughout step up. So, yep, go ahead. Okay, do I take an entering shot?
Yep, I've got video going too,
Okay,
so.
okay. Yeah, it'll be a little dark because, again, we don't have windows and the power's not on right now. You gotta be belted in.
Okay.
We'll come up here, all this stuff, maintenance just has it up here because they're going to be putting in these foot straps. So these foot straps will be put in the plane. You can see they're kind of like spaced all over.
Yeah.
They're putting in more of them and they'll basically zigzag all through the cabin.
Oh, wow.
You have handholds here, and what will happen is each person will put a foothold in.
Okay.
And so once we go to release, you'll start to float. But this will keep you somewhat in an area where you can do your stuff and you can almost even let go a little, but you won't
That's awesome.
float off into
all
other
the way.
people.
Yeah.
Now, there are times where we might have some drift in the cabin, and if you go back this way, you'll lose your foothold, or you'll just grab on, or one of us will catch you and reorient you and get you back in your spot. It just depends.
Are you okay being in this documentary?
I'm okay.
Okay, because you're doing amazing, and this is on my punch list too, is the explaining of how everything works. So,
No problem.
thank you.
So we'll have it all throughout the cabin. There will be GoPros mounted on
Okay.
these, every other one. So some of these can be handholds for people.
Very
Some
good.
of them will have a camera on them, and they're wide angle, so they'll capture almost everything throughout the cabin. Everyone will get footage of it afterwards.
That's awesome.
So you can use those. We'll also have one of our photographers as a videographer floating through with a handheld
Okay.
GoPro, and she'll try and video everybody's experiment at least once throughout the flight. We'll also have a second photographer that will be going getting still shots throughout the cabin.
Okay, wow. Do you know how many people are on here? There's 8 of us, I know, but there's...
Basically,
Wow.
it's the entire side where you guys are standing, minus that last table, Sierra Lobo.
Okay.
They're flying the next day. And then there's one across.
Okay.
There.
Okay. So we have already been assigned to zones, and then we'll know, like, somebody will tell us, I guess.
Yeah,
where
well, we'll probably get everybody up here. Like I said, we'll have about 30 minutes to our airspace.
Okay.
So once we get up in the air, we'll let everybody come out. We'll get everybody situated. We'll open up this box. Everybody will get out whatever things they need for their experiments. You'll find your spot. You'll get situated. Now, once you find your spot during the hypergravity, when we're on the climb, you'll all lay down.
Okay.
So wherever your foot strap is or whatever, you'll keep your foot in there, but you'll lay down and, have everybody
Okay.
kind of scattered.
So when you come up, it's...
Because when you're on the hyper, it'll be a 1.8 Gs.
Okay.
So
That's not awful.
it almost feels like a weighted blanket, or the way
Yeah.
I describe it, it's like my 7-year-old laying on my chest if I'm laying down.
Like the Gravitron?
Not as hard as the Gravitron. No.
Okay.
Because you're not spinning at the same time. It's
Right.
just
So it's a
just
different
pressure.
feeling.
We tell you to look forward, fix one point on the ceiling, and just stare straight. As long
Okay.
as you do that, it's all the pressure is evenly distributed,
Oh, nice.
and you're good.
Okay.
If you start turning your head back and forth and talking to your neighbor, just think of that's 1.8 Gs pushing on your
brain.
your cerebral fluid
Not
and your in between your ears, and that's
Okay.
what's going to cause you to get disoriented, to start
Okay.
not feeling so good. So we just tell everybody, follow that, stay Okay.
in that one position, because that's where you're going to get the most pressure on your body.
Gotcha.
That's where the most strain is going to be to you. Because
Okay.
once we release and we're in zero, you're just going to float.
Right.
So there's no real pressure or feeling on your body. You're okay. That extra strain on you is only when we're in the hypers.
Okay.
And if you're perfectly still and just staring and waiting for the next parabola, you shouldn't have a problem.
Awesome.
It's like I said, when people start moving around, the
That's
worst
when
thing
you get
everybody
sick.
does is try and take selfies, which I don't know why, because it's just literally a picture of you laying on the floor.
Don't do that. Good to
Also, 1.8 G's of a camera falling in your face. Not good.
Probably not.
But then once we say, you heard them say, what we'll do is once we get to the top of the parabola, they'll say pushing over.
Okay.
That's when you'll start to feel that pressure start to release, but you won't start to float just yet.
Okay.
And then you'll start to kind of bounce almost a little, like you'll feel like you're lifting, but it's like kind of like a false start for a split second.
Okay.
And then we'll say release, and you'll feel like we've just cleared the top, and that's when you'll literally just float up. You don't have to do anything. You'll just lay there, and you'll start to float up.
Oh, wow.
If you're not getting enough and you want to get up faster, just 2 fingers. Just lightly push with your fingers, because there's nothing stopping you anymore.
Okay.
So if you push off from the bottom, you're going straight up here.
And that's squishy too?
It is. I mean, it's not going to hurt anybody, but you basically lose any control at that point.
Okay.
So, because once you hit here, what's your first reaction? Block yourself and push back,
you go back
which
down.
then you're going to ping pong off
like
the bottom. So,
good thing these guys will be strapped to the bottom.
so yeah. So whatever you're doing, you just want to, light movements, because anything you do is a little exaggerated.
Okay.
So if I push off lightly, that's when I'll start to go kind of like this.
Across.
If
And
I,
there's other
if
people
I
in here.
push, because I will literally be over there before anybody can stop me.
Okay.
If you get, for some reason, out of your foothold, anything's going on, you accidentally lose your experiment or something, don't try to flail and grab it. Just let one of us get it. Just say, hey, I need some help.
Okay.
We'll help you, because it's more dangerous for you to flail after it, accidentally knock it into somebody, or hurt yourself trying to get it, than it would be for it to just float free until we grab it.
Okay. Good to know.
And same for yourself. If you just need help orienting, again, everybody's first thing is to swim, to try and get themselves, paddle themselves somewhere. There's no water. You're not pushing against anything. You're not going anywhere.
Aqua Dragon, right?
You just look silly at that point. So again, it's just less movement is better if you're trying to stabilize or get oriented. If you can, I can't do it from here. 1 foot down, 1 hand up, and you literally have created a barrier. So wherever, like, I'll always stand towards the sides to orient myself first, because this is where I can be the most stable.
Yeah.
Some of our other coaches can stand straight in the middle, because
That's why they're so tall.
They can touch both. But yeah, again, anywhere you can have anybody in it, just so we don't let anybody get too close to the box.
This box is where it is.
Yeah, this box will be closed during the parabola. Like anything, there'll be stuff in here. We close it and lock it up so that stuff doesn't flow free once we're in flight.
And I think these I'm carrying in because of the temperature, they can't be cold.
Okay.
So I think they're staying on my lap for
Well,
takeoff.
you can still put them in the box if you bring them on.
Okay.
It's just they can't be in the box before we board.
Okay.
What happens is the plane will be screened and cleared before we board.
Gotcha.
Only what was on the manifest can be in here as cargo.
Okay.
Once we get in here, this is kind of like our overhead bin. Whatever you brought, we can also add.
Okay.
It's just a matter of now it came through security. It was a separately screened item.
Gotcha. So that's
this is just our overhead bin.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Because I know they said it gets really cold, and I'm a little worried because they don't do well in the cold.
So.
They might swim really slow, but that's okay. We know it's going to be cold. Somebody will be taking temperature, I'm sure. Yeah. Right, to be able to tell.
So, they'll basically sit in here until we get up there, and then you'll take them out, get yourself situated wherever you're going to be.
This is much smaller than
It looks like it, and you think it's so many people crowded in, but it's a lot of space for people to move around in.
Okay, I trust you.
It's just...
But to me, thinking right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to be like...
I mean, on a consumer flight, we literally get 28 people laying all the way through this cabin and then floating freely, and they have a great time and they don't feel...